What's up, everybody? We're just hanging out. This is opening night at the Sphere. And I have most of the Roots Rock Revival team here with me. And we're just going to talk about how excited we are about everything. And this is JR. Are you going by JR today?
Oh, I have a costume.
Yes, okay, so this is Jimmy Rector. He's the one that put together all of this camera stuff for us to film this on the fly, last minute.
Also designed Oteil's website and has done so much work for his brand. So
Yes, and by teaching,
he
him.
does the ozone. Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. Everything. And the logo, he designed the logo for Comes a Time. He did my second to last
I didn't follow that.
record. Remember, he did my second to last album cover? Jimmy is, but you have certain archangel people in your life. Jimmy's definitely one for me. So is Henry Stout. He owns Full Moon Resort, where all this stuff takes place. They have Music Masters Collective. That's the name of it.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of music camps there. The very first one was Medeski, Martin, and Wood. The last time I had a favorite band, that was the band. That was it. And John Medeski comes to our camps. He's graced us, the last 4 or 5 years in a row?
Many years, yeah.
So we've been very lucky to have him because he's been doing them longer than any of us. And I'm me. This is my lovely wife, Jess Burbridge, who makes all the amazing ceramics and has helped out for a long time with Roots Rock. Awesome photographer, awesome ceramicist. Most of you probably already know her. And I can't tell what's going to happen with the first dragon, but you'll see soon. So I'm just going to... This is my sister's soul, also known as Kat Ross, right? She is the one that's helped me get blossom. She's ushered me through the doorway of my full wizardhood. So now, and thank you for that. Yeah, she helped ground me to Mother Earth and helped me get these wings out, these old dragon wings out so I can fly. This is Steve Sternshine, another archangel. All these are archangel people in my life. Steve we met because we were talking about we needed some help. This is because a lot of this is going to be about manifesting. So me and Jimmy were manifesting one day and we were like, man, we need somebody that can give us some suggestions about marketing or advertising or something.
Some YouTube stuff.
Some YouTube. Steve, who was already a VIP member of the Ozone, which is my teaching app, just chimed in with these. We hadn't said anything. He's like, hey, man, it'd be cool if you did this and that. And we were like, maybe we should ask him for more ideas. And he was like, yeah, I got this company called Adventures, which is exactly what we were looking for. What he was trying to help us out with was exactly what we were looking for. So he's been an archangel person in our lives. Came to Roots Rock, bought a whole video. I probably would put all that in the intro anyway, but since we just did it, I don't have to now. So anyway, we're here at the opening night of the Sphere. See the legs going, there's feet going. Yeah, there's energy going.
Excited. Oh, yeah. Unbelievably.
Yes, it's super cool. So there's a whole, what do they call the Grateful Dead world that's right down there?
The Dead Forever Experience.
Yes.
The Dead Forever Experience, which we're going to try to get to maybe tomorrow. Maybe IG Live that or something. But this will all be in the past by the time you see it. But we're here at the Venetian. Henry was coming here to try to set up some stuff maybe for Roots Rock. And then I was like, hey, since we got everybody here, let's do a podcast. And we could talk about Roots Rock Revival, which is coming up July 29th?
Yes, July 29th.
Okay, I fly in the night of the 28th, I think.
Yep, that's correct.
So, July 29th through the 2nd?
The 30th. 31st.
31st. Sorry. See, there's so much going on.
Wait a minute. It's in the second.
The 2nd.
Yeah, second.
July 29th to August 2nd. Sorry.
I was right. I was right.
Yes. We can fix it in post, guys. Yeah, okay, good.
I just want to say, I was right about a detail that I normally would never be right about. But go ahead, Jen.
And I was wrong about detail that I always be wrong about.
What is happening?
You go.
No, I was just saying for people that aren't familiar with Roots, last year was the 10th
10th annual.
anniversary.
Yeah. So this, just to jump in on that real quick, this 2024 is the first year of the next 10 years. That's how we're looking at it. And it's really, there was something happened last year that you might talk. I mean, it felt like a birthing almost. It was pretty deep.
It's a really special experience that's evolved over the years, and the people that have been drawn to it, it's a family now. And some of the kids, some of the campers, they started as little kids, and like Brandon Taz is now teaching, and
sold out the Beacon multiple nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's in a beautiful, beautiful area of the Catskill, New York, the mountains, and our kids love it. They love playing out in nature.
You guys need
Come on.
Come on.
Yeah, come on, Sarah. Please bring it water. It's two more team members. Amy, come sit down. This is Andrew. And this is Amy. Amy pretty much really runs this whole thing, so let's just call a spade a spade.
I'll do a quick intro on
Yes.
that. Amy is the director of the nonprofit organization, the Music Masters Collective. And the Music Masters Collective produces thematically oriented events of all kinds. Roots Rock Revival is one that we are very, very passionate about and super honored to be affiliated with Oteil and Jess and all the beautiful things that you guys bring together. You were talking about families just now.
Wait a minute, you left out Andrew.
And I'll get to it.
Sorry.
I jump out of this. I'll get to it.
You see how we roll in Roots Rock?
All right. Andy Gailey is the production manager for Music Masters Collective. And when you come to an event and you notice everything is just working flawlessly and perfectly, that's all thanks to Andy. He's a super pro in this area and also has extensive experience with VIP and customer service. And, the thing that makes it all work is the beautiful people that are at the core of it. And there's a common passion for bringing the music directly and making the music accessible to the people of all ages, all generations. Right. The thing that I wanted to say is the closing show last year with Oteil and Nigel. I wanted to talk about that. You remember that. And Oteil was seriously engaged with Colonel Bruce and Sun Ra concurrently, and Nigel was playing this like synth machine.
Bruce used to always say that Aquariuses love to push buttons. So Nigel, my son's Aquarius, which he thought was just the best thing ever. And he does love to push buttons. Like, he went for mayor. Remember that first year when he went for a mayor's pedal board, which looks like an air that's like inside of a cockpit.
He's like, oh my God,
He was just like, no. So at the end of Roots, this guy brought in this old synth thing that just has a bunch of knobs. And you plug it in, you turn it, it goes. So Nigel, we were like,
dream.
Nigel was on the floor, and this device was on the stage, and Oteil was here. And what happened between the two of you is just one of those beautiful things, father, son, or otherwise, musically. It was.
I agree. There was like
It was an energetic connection that you could actually see.
Yeah.
Like you saw like the wavelengths going together.
it was really cool.
I was probably doing all my stupid Colonel Bruce shit too, like,
Oh, definitely.
and Nigel's just like,
You mean you're legit, Colonel Bruce?
shit. Well, hey, look, stupid is a compliment when we're talking about
Okay.
up is down, in is out. This
Yeah.
Colonel Bruce land. That's a whole nother thing. What Bruce taught me that changed my life had nothing to do with electric bass. What was he going to teach me about guitar or bass? He didn't know hardly anything. But he could do all this stuff at will that I couldn't do. And that really messed with my brain.
What kind of stuff?
Like, command an audience's attention.
Okay.
He's like, you play all that stuff. Nobody gives a damn. I was like, wow, he's right. I'm starving and nobody wants to hear my original music. And here I think I'm better than everybody else in town. I'm like, I can outplay all these guys, you know. But he just like immediately just smacked me down. Like, why does nobody care? I was like, damn, why does nobody care? He said, you got to learn how to connect with everyone or anyone, not just musicians. You're playing for musicians, you know.
So what was the sauce there to do that?
The sauce there was like, well, it's many pronged, but he would tell me, like, to what you were saying, he was like, I don't even need a guitar. He goes, instruments are for cowards. And I was like, oh, so he would stand there and he would take this and he would just hold it there and look at me. Right? And before long, the entire restaurant is completely quiet.
Yeah, like in train.
He's not even looking at them. He's just like this. And then we go like this. Right? And I was like, dude, at will. And I was like, okay. So then my brain is turning this over for years. And it took me actually till now to fully get it. And so I said, I'm going to teach what Colonel Bruce taught me and not bass stuff, because you can get that off YouTube. Like, YouTube's going to put music school out of business. And I learned to play banjo off of YouTube, Jess. I was like, how'd you learn all these rolls? She goes, beginning banjo rolls on YouTube. I was like, okay.
But also at Roots, you were able to connect with students one-on-one and give them.
No, if you want, like, if somebody
replacement
says,
for the human connection.
Yeah.
You can go to YouTube all you want, but this is the thing about what we do as the Masters Collective also, is that the core of the educational component of what we do is got nothing to do with the instrument. It's got to do with the connection to the true source. To have the opportunity to get to know Oteil Burbridge, you know, all respect,
And
17 years with the Allman Brothers and straight on the Dutton Company, and there's, you know,
but we have all these people.
and then you go back to Bruce and everything else in your family history and your brother and you know and the depth, and you get that by and meeting Jess and meeting the people. You get it through the human contact. That's what Taz got. When Butch came in and took Taz. So check it out. This year for Roots, the new theme for the next 10 years is community and participation. And so we're calling all y'all who have come to Roots over the years, all you, come on back and come back to the source. And
Last like folk music. You know, the way you do in music school, there's all these hierarchies. And, you know, some of the greatest musicians, I would argue the greatest ones, because they're up there with all the trained ones. So if they have no training and they got to that level, then technically they're greater. Yeah. And they learned by doing. Like when you go to a bluegrass festival, that's right, everybody brought their instruments. When you go see like Santana, doesn't everybody, they don't show up with their instruments? And they're not like all through the parking lot like playing. That's how it is at a bluegrass fest. Folk music is more that way, where you learn. It's like, okay, yeah, you're not Bela Fleck, but you're going to stand 10 rows back and just strum until you get it, right? And that's what...
Well, then we take that to the next level, because the next level is all of a sudden you're hanging out down with the Yerk people at 2 o'clock in the morning at Roots, and holy shit, fucking who do you sitting down there? Or you know, or Luther, or Cody, or, you know, whoever else. Or, I'm sorry, what are you saying? Go ahead.
The Riverside Jam.
The Riverside Jam.
Favorite parts about Roots. It's just beautiful, and I love that it's students of every level, like, and people that don't play music at all that come. You don't have to be a musician to come to Roots. It's so much more about the experience. And
you got so many of the best pictures of Nigel and Kavi at those by the creek or the river thing running down there. And it's cool because that is all acoustic. So it's not the super loud. A lot of it's super loud because people have amps and they don't know how to turn them down. We work on that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jam etiquette 101.
But the Riverside Jam is all acoustic. People are singing along. It's like, you know, someone's over here doing yoga. Another person's there meditating. Remember the lady was painting, and I think Kavi or Nigel went up to her, and she's painting while it's going on. And we've had grandparents, parents, and their kids all there at the same time. It's like, and I gotta shout out Butch Trucks because
I was just gonna
Butch
say,
was
yeah.
one of the founding members of the Allman Brothers Band, and this was his vision. And he started it with Luther and Cody Dickinson from North Mississippi All Stars and myself 10 years ago. Or now this is 11. So, and then he passed away, and we decided to keep it going. So then now I'm the old man of the group, and I had to take it over. The patriarch. And I do feel that way.
The wizard patriarch.
Well, it's kind of good that it happened after Nigel was born because, you know, this also happened when my dad died. My older brother died and my dad died, and I was like, now I'm the patriarch of the family. That was, you know, we're still talking in patriarchal times, which are now over. Thank God. But this all happened while they were still, while it was still in full swing, I became the patriarch. So, and I take that as in the spirit of stewardship and not overlordship or dictatorship or.
Well, it was a big,
But yeah,
big moment for us
it
together.
was for me. It was a beautiful.
in that moment when Butch passed, and I think we really decided that there was nothing Butch would want more
For sure.
than for us to carry on.
And
For
you
sure.
see that through Valor and Melody and
Yeah.
the legacy.
And
And
that's
now
one of the
that's what
greatest
that
things.
now, but now
Yeah.
now it's really time, you know. And Roots is grounded in the music of the Allman Brothers and the Grateful Dead, and we
sure.
all have and pay homage to that. But then it's like, so it's okay. This is a great opportunity to talk about the past, but let's go way back. Let's go way back to the very roots of the music that the Allman Brothers and the Grateful Dead were drawing from. And then we can come to the Allman Brothers and the Grateful Dead, which is also, to a large degree, with the exception of being here at the Sphere right now, in the past, but now we're living it live, and this is an amazing opportunity for that. But then there's like, where are we going with that, and how are we passing that on? Whether it's to the next generation of younger people, but they don't have to be young. You could be dealing with something, but to move and carry, and that's why this is the first year of the next 10 years.
Yeah, and you see it
Because
literally
now-
because like
Yeah.
when we think about just the legacies living legacies that we have there. All right, Amy Helm leads the vocal choir, like, and she'll be doing that with Junior Mac, with Melody, with Lamar Jr. Right,
which is incredible.
it is incredible, and you know Levon's barn is like not far away.
Yeah.
And here Levon's daughter is there, and she plays drums good, and her son is there, and he plays drums. So we had Levon Helm's grandson and Barry Oakley's grandson playing drums together.
Yeah.
Because Barry Oakley Jr.'s son plays drums, and him and Levon's grandson hooked up and are very tight now. They actually have a band together or something, right? So it's like, and then we've had Dwayne Betts, Lamar Williams Jr. You know, we've had Graham Lesh, or just Luther and Cody Dickinson. You know, their dad, Jim Dickinson, recorded with the Stones and all these other people. When we just played that Overton Park band shell in Memphis with O'Teal and Friends, it's a super historic place. Everybody that's I didn't even want to play there. I was like, oh my God, look at everybody in their prime. You know, that's Freddie King and Leon Russell together when they were in their prime. And there's Bonnie Raitt when she was 20. There's like Mississippi everybody, Mississippi John Hurt, Mississippi Fred McDowell. Anybody with the name Mississippi was there. Elvis had his first big gig there in 1954. Johnny Cash in 55. I mean, you just go down the line. I was like, we shouldn't even play.
No, you
know. No, but you were not. Hey, no. Here's what really did it for me. Where'd you go, Jimmy Rector? Why'd you try to get out of here, JR? You know, one of the things that happened was in the dressing room, there's all this stuff. And one of the biggest pictures in there was the Allman Brothers in '71, right before they cut Fillmore East. And I went, wow. And then I'm looking at all the pictures, and there's Jim Dickinson, like a long time ago. And I also knew that Luther and Cody had played there. And so I just saw this connection, and I was like, hey, man, you're part of this stream. Like, let's just get out here and do the best we can. We have maybe the best O'Teal and Friends show we ever had, and it's all video and all being worked on right now, so hopefully will come out soon. But all that to say is this is what's going on at Roots, like the amazing teachers that we have coming at Nikki Glaspie, John Medeski. I could just go on and on and on.
Well, let's hit it.
Yeah.
I got him here.
Yeah, so who's for this year?
Yeah. Okay. So we have, of course, like it's dude. I love you so much. It's hard for me to even say your name. And I appreciate you and respect you and love you. Like you're a guiding light.
Thank you.
So O'Teal, Luther and Cody Dickinson, of course. Our founding members. We go on from there. We have Vaylor and Melody Trucks. Vaylor is the unsung hero of the Trucks family. Vaylor, you really need to know Vaylor Trucks and understand his level of skill. The guy is a complete genius and an absolutely extraordinary guitar player.
And his level of knowledge, too, because there's certain people, like Colonel Bruce is one of those people that just has such a deep historical knowledge. He's just ravenous like my dad. And Vaylor is one of those people. Like, he's like the Albus Dumbledore of music history. He is, man. That cat knows.
Yeah, he knows
a wide spectrum.
If Luther don't know it, ain't to be known. I mean, Vaylor's. Vaylor, Luther too. All right, spreadsheets. He is spreadsheets.
That's the thing. Baylor, as a teacher, he really cares.
Yeah.
Really
And his classes are always great.
Well, that's one of the things we're doing is the participant orchestra, which is really integrating. So I said that the theme going forward is community and participation.
Absolutely.
So, we're really, we're going to move a little bit away. Obviously, the artists have discretion in terms of exactly what their content is, but the idea is to get everybody playing in different ways. And we do this, we do a production with the whole group community of people at Roots, and it starts with the singing and the orchestra, but then it's a big presentation. So we're doing that. Melody Trucks is a fabulous singer with her Road to Roots program.
I love that.
Forget about that. They're Melody and the Fiske, they're coming up, and all the people that have come up through Roots over the years. It's 10 years of people that have come in and developed over a decade.
That's what Road to Roots is. She's taken all these people that have been at Roots and have grown musically and are ready to get out there on the road, and she takes them out on the road, and they sound great.
Yeah.
And friends of mine, I think Brad Miller even did a gig with them at some point down the road, even though he hasn't come to Roots, but we're going to get him to come to teach, and he can show you some bass stuff. But that really is a thing. Like, you see these, you've already seen it happen where students form these friendships. I don't even call them students. I'll just call them campers. Campers form these friendships that lasted throughout the year because they miss Roots so much, and they just kept it going.
Yeah, they count down from the day after Roots, 364 days.
And they play and they get together, or we got together in New Orleans, or we met at this festival, or they started a band, or whatever. Like Lara, man, every year she comes back, she just gets better and better. I'm just like, holy crap. And you walk by, there's all these different jam rooms. So there's one of the barn over here, the Roadhouse, then there's the pavilion, then there's downstairs underneath where the kitchen is. And so I just walk around the grounds, also down by the yurt, is it a creek or a river?
No, it's a creek. It's Sopas Creek.
Sopas
Yeah, it's
Creek.
beautiful. New York's the watershed. 80,000 acres of forest preserve, 110 acres, very pure and pristine natural environment.
It's
one of the most highly protected natural environments on Earth, actually. It is.
Yeah, so we're out there jamming till like,
Oh, yeah.
oh man, remember?
Bald eagles are coming, man. Like the other
Really?
day, huge bald eagle come in and just land down at the pond. I was like, wow, look at that.
Man, when we were driving the kids to breakfast, I guess it was, in the golf cart, and you're going over this hill and down where all the campers are, this baby black bear comes running out. And we see it running up to the road, so we're like in the golf cart going like this. And it was kind of far off, but
Mama Bear.
That's where we were thinking. She's down there in that campground, like, where's my baby?
Yes.
But it was so cool for our kids because a baby black bear ran across their path. It was amazing. But anyway,
Yeah, I'll come back.
when I was walking around the campgrounds, I literally have a blindfold test because I can't see inside the buildings. I just hear I'm like, who is that? It's like, all right, I got to walk my ass up there. So I walk up to the roadhouse and I go inside and I go, oh, it's Lara again. She's done that to me. Lara, I know you're watching this. You know you did that to me every year. So I'm calling you out. And it's so great to see the growth of the students, the campers, to see them make these relationships.
Well, and then you have
and
more
with us
careers. So that'll bring us to Trouble No More.
Yeah.
Is coming in with Brandon and Dylan, and Pete Levin.
Yeah.
And somebody help me out. We got Nikki and
Nikki Glassby.
and Quinn Sullivan. Roosevelt couldn't make it.
Ray came through.
Ray Ray's coming through. Ray Holloman's coming through. And we got Third. We got Third coming in.
Woo!
That's all.
Okay, wait a minute. We got
We got P-Funk in the house.
Dude,
Yeah.
Third is George Clinton's godson.
Yeah.
And he came in. His energy is so great. He just, within 5 seconds, it just went boom. It just topped out. And I was like, oh, man, you sure got that same mojo George has. Like, wow. The whole place just stood up and was dancing. Nikki went into full funk mode. We were just like, boom, bang, P-Funk mode, man.
On a T-shirt.
It was.
You know whose birthday it is?
Today?
Third's birthday.
Today?
It's Third's
It's
today.
Third's birthday. Wait a minute.
No.
What's the date? No, I want to see what the date is.
05, 16, 24. I think 15 technically. 15 technically today.
Okay. Don't worry about that. Yeah. But no. Tell us, because the Colonel Bruce, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And guys, just to say, Oteil's going to be leaving on Wednesday or so of Roots this year because he needs to come on back here to the Sphere.
Got away with
play
it
his-
for 10 years.
Play his show on Thursday. But Oteil said,
I don't even know if we can announce that.
check this out. You can
I
edit.
can edit it.
Okay.
What if it turns out that I do get to stay?
Okay.
And they're like, we win again.
Okay, but it's bringing me to something because you asked me to call Reverend Jeff Moser.
Oh, now, yeah.
Right?
I got to tell y'all, what started the whole thing with me and Soul, this started in Costa Rica. I was reading these things called The Purple Fables by Ingo Swann, and I finished this book, and all this crazy synchronicity started happening. And then I went to bed, and I was going to put on a podcast to fall asleep to, and Reverend Moser's interview with Colonel Bruce Hampton came up on my YouTube. And I'd never seen the interview that he would with the Colonel. So I watched it, and I was just like practically in tears. And when it got to the end, I turned it off, and I just said, thank you, Colonel Bruce, and thank you, Ingo Swann, because so much stuff were happening. And then the lights in the whole house all came on. And then they went off. And then it came on again. And then it went off again.
Can I get a witness?
She was sleeping in a different room. I didn't find out till the next day. You know Nigel's watching this. He calls me. Anyway.
I was swearing on the podcast.
We can bleep it. But I didn't find out till the next morning what had happened. And Jess was like, that it had woken her up too. So I was like, okay, so it wasn't just my room. I think it was Ingo and the Colonel, but that's a separate story. Anyway, that made me realize, man, I got to get Moser to Roots Rock, because the one thing we have not had is bluegrass, and that is a crime. Because one of the most major things I learned from Colonel Bruce was about bluegrass. And the album that I'm going to cut at the end of this year in Iceland is all my banjo tunes. And I realized, I said, Moser knows the Colonel like I know it from the inside, but he also is like a huge theology nut, like I am. So we see it in terms of like spiritual truths also. And he knows, like, he was there for all the craziest of the he was part of the craziest of the crazy as I would. So if it ends up that I cannot be there, Mosier is going to take over my Colonel Bruce class because he's the perfect guy for the job. And he also understands teaching by doing, like the folk music way of learning. So it's perfect. And he knows all the, like, Olden in the Way. He knows all the Garcia connection, the Peter Rowan, Vassar and him. And we knew Vassar Clemens. And I didn't even really know who Vassar was when I was hanging out with him, which is sad. And now I'm like, oh my God, you got to have all these golden moments with Vassar Clemens. You know, it's amazing. So Mosier's going to be there this year, and it's going to be really, really impactful.
Yep, and we have Johnny Kimmock.
Johnny Kimmock is coming. We were on the road talking about, you know, we both love Harry Potter and lean fully into elves and wizards and dragons and all that. And he said, you know, I really would love to do a music camp that's music and mysticism. And I was like, well, you got it already, because that's all I'm teaching. If you want bass, come get a private lesson. But otherwise, I'm teaching you what Colonel Bruce taught me, which is all the mystical part, the philosophical part, the religious part, the spiritual, whatever you want to call it. I can't afford to be semantically closed anymore. Tell me what language you want to speak. I'll speak it. Star Wars, Harry Potter, the Bible, Bhagavad Gita, Buddhism. Well, I don't care. Just pick it. I'm a Harry Potter guy. Hogwarts, Burbridge. Our coat of arms is a sign of the boar, the wild boar, which is what's in Hogwarts. When you walk in, there's a huge statue of a wild boar. I think that's why I connect with it so much. But that's another mystical thing that you might think is hogwash. Anyway, if you don't, come to Roots Rock. That's what we're going to be
We
talking
don't think
about.
this shit is hogwash. We think this shit is legit.
It is legit.
And we're listening carefully. And I want to come back to the community side, and I want to just call out that so along the lines of all of this at Roost, you have the programming, you have the interactive master classes, you have the jam sessions, and then you have like just opening it up to the community where people are jamming together, and we have jam hosts. And this year we're super excited to have the guys from Steel and Peaches coming in. They're going to help us out. And with that, and we also have our core Roost Rock people with Desiree Spinks and Kevin Stryker and Ryan Gregg and Craig Keel. And these guys are and this is the beauty. They're gonna play a set for us on Tuesday after. Des is gonna lead a set for us.
Man, Des.
So it's so exciting to see the people coming up. And that's what it's all about, is lifting people up. That's what Oteil is about. And that's what resonates so deeply.
Man, let me tell you something. You hear Des and Amy Hill and Lamar Williams Jr. and Junior Mack, and you hear all those voices together, I'm telling you, you're going to feel the revival part of Roots Rock.
That's the goosebumps right there.
Right, man.
Hair standing right up.
Butch didn't believe in none of that stuff, but he's the one that put revival in there, not me. So I'm like, you said it, I get to run with it. So that's just how it is, and it really is. It's amazing. I remember when Nigel was there. Remember with the little kid? Was he from Brazil? So for 3 days, for the first 2 days, they were running around the camp, talking to each other, laughing, collecting stuff, like planting. They made a little flower cup for every single person in the lunchroom. I was like, dude, you killed all the flowers. So like,
They couldn't even talk to each other.
Yeah.
The entire time.
no. Day 3, I'm talking to the mom, and she goes, he doesn't speak any English. And I'm like, what? They've been talking the whole time, like chatter.
Wow, that's cool.
A lot of it was
That
loud.
was the same year that during one of the jams after dinner, Nigel was so tired from running around. He was like 3 or 4 years old maybe. And he just picked a random person, crawled up in her lap, and just went to sleep. You know? But like, that's the vibe at Roots. Like, we're so safe and so, like, it's such a good vibe that, and I, as his mom, I was just like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah, when you can feel safe like that, that's a lot for your kid to be in. It's like there's no strangers. And if there are, well, you know. We can edit that out. But, you know, we curate this thing.
Yeah.
It's serious, you know, and to see Nigel become fast friends with this kid, and they spent 3-4 days together not speaking a lick of the same language, that's proof of concept right there.
Let me talk about that, curating this thing and all of that, because we are a nonprofit organization. We do have a scholarship program. And a fundamental part of our mission as the Masters Collective is to break down the barrier of entry. The barrier of entry to come to one of these events should be that Oteil has invited you, you know, directly, indirectly, by energetically. That you're energetically
We don't like
called.
you. Just kidding.
That you're energetically called. But it's not whether you can afford that. So, you know, we're calling all people and calling anybody who has the means to support the organization. And help people attend if they don't have the financial means, but if they have the artistic and the creative and the, you know, as Oteil says, you know, spiritual, whatever that means to you, or, you know, there's no delineation, but there is a spirit to this. And when Oteil talks about wizardry, he's not kidding. We might all laugh, but we're not joking.
Nobody can tell me I don't do magic. They can't tell me that, because that's the thing that I think, this last 6 months, maybe maybe before everybody dying, but certainly culminating with meeting Soul, is like, you know, I've been doing magic. I've been doing it. I'm not up there doing math. What does materialism have to say about what I do? What I do is nothing, according to materialism. It's nothing. Well, why are people paying me all this fucking money then? I call that magic. If what I'm doing is nothing and you're paying me a lot of money, I'm sitting up here at the top of the Venetian. Like, what, you know, but what it is, it's an emotional thing. It's a spiritual thing. It's a consciousness thing.
Yeah.
If I'm brave enough to get naked, like Bruce told me, spiritually, he said, you're not good enough to lie to me. You should tell me the truth, which means getting naked. So after my ego got over the you're not good enough to lie to me part, I started looking at what he said. And then what it comes down to is if I can take all the real stuff that's happened to me, joy, pain, you know, the worst, the best, everything in between, being embarrassed, being funny, being smart, being stupid, being what, if I could take all that and really give it to people, especially the painful part, which people sit on, then my pain moves, and then I move their pain, and then when it all moves, we all get healed. That's called magic.
Amen. It's about the community coming together. It's about the right people coming together at the right time to make magic together.
And you will see and feel magic there. This is why you can't be worried about whether people believe you or not. Because when it happens to you, you will realize, A, I can't explain it. B, I'm going to sound crazier and crazier the closer I get to actually explaining it. All right. C, you'll know if you're lucky enough that it happens to you. And that part is grace. That part you have some influence in because you can ask. Whatever it is you believe in, pick your semantics, you can ask it and be humble about it and watch it happen. It's happening to you all the time and you miss it.
That's right.
We're just having fun.
Yeah.
Opening night at the Sphere.
Come on.
You want to talk about
Bring
it? Bring it. Aliens.
Woo! Amen.
Let me ask you guys this. So the land in which this Roots is on, right? Like it's right in Woodstock. It's very close to Woodstock. What is the energetics of all of the greats and all of the
You know where it is? You know where it is? It's situated directly between the town of Woodstock, New York, and Bethel, which is the original site of the 1969 festival, perched in the mountains, directly between those two vantage points. It's kind of like a
with that watershed, that watershed is where everybody, what is it? Pennsylvania gets it on one side and New York on the other?
Yep,
Is that what it
Delaware
is?
on the one side and Esopus and the other one on the other side.
So you said it's like 80,000
80,000. We're 100. We're surrounded by 80,000 acres of forever wild wilderness preserve. They don't even cut
Protected.
trails in it.
Protected, federally protected.
Yeah.
Well, it's like,
Yep.
Talking about music and the medicine of nature and combining medicine of nature and music, like
that's what it is. That's where Tara Lee comes in too, and all the yoga and the massage. You know, people are getting Reiki done on them. There's all kind. I mean, it's really not a music camp. It's more like a spiritual retreat.
it's evolved into that.
Yeah,
With the music of the Grateful Dead and the Ombras and everything around, so it's rocking.
Yeah.
You know, don't be deceived.
Oh, now, yeah. Bring earplugs.
Yeah.
There's that part, and you better be ready to stay up late.
Yeah.
Because the jamming goes on late into the night. Like 4. When do you even?
It kind of scales down, you know.
Yeah.
Andy's the production, but it kind of scales down from the venues. But we don't, you know, if you want to play and jam right till the sun comes up, that's your business.
That down at you're down there by the creek. It tends to go real long.
Yeah.
Young
And man, but so many transformative things have happened there. It's really, I don't even know what. There's really not words for it. But if you come, you will feel the energy. You'll feel all that connection between nature and the music and the mysticism and just all the energy of that first day is always so sweet because you can feel how long people have been waiting for that first day again. And then when they get to see everybody again, and a lot of times, like, I just stand back away from it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the patriarch thing where I just look at this. I'm like, wow, this is really great. This is sacred.
Yeah.
You know?
It is
it's
sacred
really
space. It is.
sublime. So, but no words can touch it. You really should come. And you will be very glad that you did. And thank all you guys for, you know,
Thank you for taking your time out of your day here at the Sphere to come and hang with us, man. We love you beyond words, man.
this is my spiritual charge up right before I go and I'm like, wake up! Let's go! Yeah. So
That's it. It's a wrap.